Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a video that I've been dying to make since I found out about it 2 days ago, but I wanted to make sure I had my thoughts clear as well as the time to even make this video. But ladies and gentlemen, there is strong evidence showing that there will in fact be a Shadows of... I spat everywhere. There will in fact be a Shadows of the Dam 2. Now if you guys are like, what is that? It sounds familiar. Oh my god, you need to play this game. It's so good, especially if you like Let It Die. It's, well, it's nothing like Let It Die. It's like if Let It Die were a proper shooter and had more personality, or better characters, so to speak. But anyways, this all started 2 days ago, when I don't know what it was. Oh, right. I was watching a video, of Pseudo51, who makes just a bunch of bonkers games, and apparently he made the studio Grasshopper Manufacturer, so I've been always saying Grasshopper Manufacturer and Pseudo51, although apparently they're the same thing. So, my bad. But I went to that video, and in that video of him, he was talking about his games, and one of the games he talked about was Shadows of the Dam 1, and how that it took like 4 renditions of that game just for EA to approve one of them. Basically, they kept going through revisions and all that stuff. And he said if he ever were to work on another one of those, he would love if they just greenlit his first script of the game, which was funny. But in the comments of that video, little OCD Grin always has to just gauge what everyone else says. So I went to the comments to read what the hell people were saying. If people love this dude as much as I do, because I do, I think he makes crazy ass games that are just beyond your imagination and whatnot. One of the people said, oh yeah, there was a huge hint to a Shadows of the Dam 2 in the previous super niche, super unseen game called Trev Strikes Again. No More Heroes or whatever it is. Yes. But after reading that comment, my eyes just glazed over in like just utter joy. And I found the clip, and oh my god, I hate that this was available to us in February, or exactly when No More Heroes, or sorry, Trev Strikes Again, which by the way, if you guys don't know about the game, it was a Nintendo exclusive, which that's something I want to talk about, but let's just kind of pave the way before we get into like, oh my god, excitement, but worry, and what is it gonna be? So yeah, Trev Strikes Again. It's if you guys have ever seen the iconic-ish character with the beam katana and the glasses, the aviators, and the red jacket, and the whole 9 yards, and the crazy hairstyle. Yes, it's just a bonkers of a game series, the whole Trev Strikes Again kind of games, or the Trev games, whatever. Or No More Heroes is what it's called. But yeah. Anyways, that game is impossible to put in words. Trev Strikes Again. It's like, I don't know, man. It's got a bunch of mini games. It's weird. It's weird. But anyways, in that game, it had like callbacks to all of Pseudo51's kind of games. And of course, one of those callbacks was Shadow of the Dam. But I also feel like more than any of them, this was more than just a callback. This was like a very like, whereas everything else just seems like it's a nod to another game, this seems like, oh no, this is what's next for our company, it seems. Because it looks like it's pretty flushed out. They got the voice actors back. It would kind of just be weird to have them back for this one offshoot. Although Pseudo51 and Grasshopper Manufacturer, hella weird. So maybe, I don't know. But what I do know is I'm gonna shut up and roll this cutscene that is basically like a weird teaser trailer to what looks like Shadows of the Dam 2. Yeah.
for me now.
Wait! What are you? Hey! Garcia!
Took 7 of those bullets, yet he survives. You will become the hero with 8 hearts. Do not let me down, Johnson. I mean, 8 heart.
Now, if you guys are not bouncing off the walls after that, then this clearly isn't one of your all-time favorite games, which for me it is. I love Shadows of the Damned ones. It was the first Let's Play I ever did on the channel, actually. It's awful. Don't go looking for it. Also, Monk of the Sitting and all that. Okay, so now that we've set the stage, so to speak, for the game, as you guys can see there in that trailer, so many questions arise. One of the things that's the most blatant and the most worrisome is, motherfucker, are we not playing Garcia? Listen, man, I have an attachment to Garcia, okay? He's not the smartest, but he's just enjoyable, you know? He's kind of just that character that's just, he's not really intense, but he's really intense. Well, he's a mixture of intense, but just kind of chill in the same sense. It's weird. Listen, it's a great game. You should play it. Try to explain any of Grasshopper Manufactured games. Or pseudo games. It's fucking impossible, okay? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, yes, are we going to be playing Johnson? And again, just for anyone who hasn't played Shadows of the Damned, or maybe you're like, oh, this sounds interesting. What is this? Basically, Shadows of the Damned is you're playing a demon hunter, and the love of his life gets taken back down to hell for some unseen reasons. He's a demon hunter with a living demon as a weapon named Johnson. Garcia is this kind of brash, goofy, but also intense, I guess, human being, and his weapon Johnson is this very posh British guy, I guess, and he's just wonderful because they play off of each other so well. Like, it's some of the best companion slash friend storytelling I've seen ever. I haven't seen it done better in any game ever. In terms of just creating like a very fun buddy kind of, like a buddy cop movie. It's almost like that, or a buddy cop game that's just really well done. Especially, again, I love the idea of like the pseudo games, like Let It Die and Shadows of the Damned. They both take like, you're in this very bloody, kind of freaky world, like scary world. Like, these demons are crazy looking, but your friend Johnson's a goofball, and he keeps you company, and he makes you laugh. And both you and Garcia and Johnson have been through so much crazy batshit shit that they kind of just walk off everything. So you as a viewer just get to enjoy that madness of a ride. So yeah, that's the whole premise. So basically, Johnson is a skull that can transform into a variety of weapons after Garcia has taken down some like big boss. So every time you kill a boss, you get a gem, you throw it in Johnson's face, boom, bam, he becomes a weapon. Good stuff. And then the whole thing in the first game is that you're trying to find your love of your life, Paula. I really like the game. I can actually even remember their names. That's a testament to me, because I can't remember shit. Anyway, so that's Shadows of the Damned. Love the game. But are we going to be playing Johnson? And I'm not sure, but I think a lot of people are going to be kind of heartbroken by that. Not because, Johnson's not an awesome character, but Johnson was amazing because he was kind of the tempering of Garcia. Like, that character back and forth was just brilliant. And again, to think that you're just going to be Johnson kind of just like trucking around the world, it's kind of weird. Maybe if, like, I don't know, maybe it's in the inverse, so now Johnson's the weapon and Garcia's just keeping him company? I don't know. Also, Shadows of the Damned left a big-ass cliffhanger ending, kind of. So Shadows of the Damned, how it ended was you finally find your girlfriend Paula, and you kind of get her back, but it doesn't really happen. And one of the things that it does so amazingly well is that it seeds this immensely amazing story for Paula. for Garcia's love, which she's like this badass huntress herself that like tried to kill the devil himself. And yeah, also did I mention that the devil like took your girlfriend, so you're about to go kill the devil? It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. But yeah, a bunch of like lore that was subliminally there, but it was really cool. So maybe that's it. Maybe that in the game Johnson goes on his way and maybe he gets Paula, and Paula, since she was like a huntress, maybe we're playing through Paul. I don't know. Although that may be fun. As long as there's that similar kind of buddy cop thing. But that's the hurdle for me, where I'm like, I don't really want to play Johnson. I love Johnson. He's such a cool character. Love him to pieces. But I'd hate that. Now, we're getting kind of ahead of ourselves. The other question is this a true successor to Shadows of the Damned? Or is this the same thing as Trev Strikes Again, where it's kind of like a nod to the fans of the game, but actual content-wise, pretty limited, not that innovative, not that fun, you know? It's kind of very like cut and dry, and like kind of, again, just a nod to people that have liked the Shadows of the Damned game. I hope not. I really hope not. I really hope it's exactly like I'm fine with it just being another type of Shadows of the Damned. Like, it doesn't have to be open world, although I think Shadows of the Damned is one of those rare games that really facilitates an open world, like you conquering hell. And especially in the trailer, we see that. Well, I don't want to get into the trailer first. I just want to get into like the doubts that I'm kind of going through in my mind. Again, I really hope this is not just like a. Okay, reset. So Trev Strikes Again was a Nintendo exclusive, and that really worries me, because Nintendo Switch, to me at least, is fairly limited, and that would suck. To me, if like all this was like, there's a huge chance that this whole Shadows of the Damned, I forget what the name of it, but it was in the trailer. It's like Twin Blades or something, I don't know. But it would bother me if this was just some sort of like Nintendo Switch side scroller, where you were just trying to like get back to Garcia or help Garcia in any way. Yeah. I don't know that. Okay, so those are the doubts. Those are me being like, okay, man. Basically, I really hope that that we get Garcia back. Like, I'm fine if we get to play it with Johnson for like a little bit, and then we get back to Garcia, or if maybe we get Paula. I just don't think Johnson just fucking about the world would be as entertaining as having him play off Garcia as well, you know? So that makes me worried. But then again, Grasshopper Manufacturer games have always been really clever with the whole writing, when they do write. Yeah. Also, before we get into like me wanting to analyze the trailer, besides like, you know, the big header, which looks like, well, first of all, Johnson looks weird. Like, so to finish off that, why does he have a birdcage over his head? Like, I get he's a prisoner or whatever, because Satan made him so he could live forever. I don't remember what the lore was, but please, he looks like a bird. Okay, I mean, I get the whole weird art style, but like, at least Garcia kind of looked like a fucking demon slayer, shredded with tattoos, scarred to shit, ripped. Made sense. Anyway, sorry. The main thing, not the main thing, the very interesting thing is, I think, personally, I feel like there's a high probability that we will see Shadows of the Damned at this E3. I'm not sure. The only reason why I say that is because, to me, it kind of makes sense with what's been happening with Grasshopper Manufacturer, which is, right now, currently, Let It Die has been more or less pushed to the wayside. I mean, it's still there. I mean, like, how hard is it, some would argue, to make an armor set and a weapon for every season, every 3 months or 4 or 5 months, when a lot of those armors seem like they may have been pulled and left to the side just in case they, just because they knew they wanted to do a free-to-play game. But point being is, Let It Die seemingly has been taken off the center stage, and it's been like that for a while. Now, to me, this would make sense. It makes sense if the team themselves would have something else to work on, because they wouldn't just be like, hey, we have all these people we're paying to like make shit. Hey, let's stop getting them to work. So they're clearly working on something else. If they're not working on Let It Die stuff, then they're working on other things. So that to me would be Let It Die. Or sorry, it's Shadows of the Damned 2, Which I don't know, man. To me, it's just, I don't know. I'm worried. Again, I don't want to think about it too much because it could very well be that side scroller like Johnson Switch game, which would break my heart because I'd be like, I'd rather not have anything than that. Well, maybe if we get lore, it could be fun. It is one of my favorite games ever. I love the game to pieces. Again, I just think it's, if you have not played it, I believe it's on Microsoft Store. It was an Xbox exclusive, unfortunately, which I really hope it's not a Nintendo exclusive. Why are exclusives always a thing? Just like, I get it, but also fuck off, you know? So yeah, to summarize, I think, based on what we've been seeing with Let It Die, that there is high probability that we might see Shadows of the Damned at this year's E3, which is actually very, very close. I'll also be trying to probably get this video out sooner rather than later, because yes, I can't believe I hadn't talked about this sooner. Frankly, I'm disappointed in you guys for not letting me know. And for those of you guys who did, I'm sorry. There's a lot of comments. I can only get a couple of them on my phone, and they just pop up on occasion. Anyways, enough about all the metrics, telling you guys what we're basically going to be talking about. You guys have seen the trailer at this point. It looks dope. First, the most obvious thing, of course, is what the fuck happened to Garcia? What is going down? He looks like he got shot by his other half / yeah, I don't know. I in the comments of one of the videos that uploaded the Is This a Shadow of the Damned 2 video that I seen, was a person speculating that maybe this is a person from Pseudo's other games, like Killer 7, or I heard someone say Mondo. Nah, listen, man, it ain't Mondo, okay? Mondo is from Killer is Dead, not Killer 7, but I don't think we'll ever see Mondo again, and that makes me sad because I really like the game. But, you know. Anyways, yeah, man, I don't know. To me, it makes sense that is either Garcia's, and this sounds fucking crazy or weird, but it's a pseudo game. Is it Garcia's long-lost brother? Because he looks like Garcia, except way more. He looks like the inverse of Garcia. Whereas Garcia is like covered in tats, looks like a rock and roll person, wears like an incredibly bright purple vest. Has a scar on his face and has tattoos everywhere. It would make sense that this guy who's in a suit would be his inverse, would be his, to me it looks similar to him, so it makes sense that he's his brother. Now this also could be because they have I think a scar in the opposite place. So Garcia has it on his left side, and I believe the guy had it on his right. I don't know. Regardless, the guy also has a weird gun, but it's not like Garcia's. Also, what did Garcia do when he died? Because Garcia essentially gets shish kebabbed, which, I mean, I don't think he's dead for what it's worth. I think the whole thing makes sense that Johnson's trying to get back to Garcia in some way. But then there's also the question, it's just me rambling, guys. Hi. Hello. I lost my train of thought. But my main thing is, well, what is this? What is the game? So are you trying to get back to Garcia? So basically the first Shadows of the Damned was you, Garcia trying to get back to Paula and basically being fine with fighting for her or for like another go around, but then the game stopped. I don't know. So is number 2 Johnson's fight back to Garcia? And is Grasshopper Manufacturer preparing for what? Because we still need to find out if Garcia can attain, what's her name again? Like get back to Paula. Also, hiya guys, I forgot to mention this one thing. I'm just kind of confused. What happened? Is this a prequel? Because Johnson doesn't have any diamonds in his face, which we collected in Shadows of the Damned 1. So is this weirdly like a prequel and Johnson's going down to hell while Garcia's dying-ish up top? I don't know. I just am wondering where the hell Johnson, the diamonds are, basically. In Johnson's face. They're not there when he's tossed up in the air and flying about, you know? It's weird. And now, there was one other thing I seen in the comments of that video of the clip I just showed you. I don't even like this theory because it would just be like, ugh. But at the same time, it kind of checks out. Is this game, I don't know, man. Is this game the third game in the franchise of Shadows of the Damned 2? Yeah. You heard me. Is this the second game? Or sorry, the third game. How do I said it right. But basically, is Pseudo 51 just skipping the center part, the middle bit, and then that'll be a future game? So it'll go 1, 3, 2, or is 2 even gonna get explained? And or are they just gonna wrap up what happens in number 2 real fast? I don't know. I don't know. Is this not even gonna be a full game? Is this just gonna be like, hey, we wanted to make more Shadows of the Damned, so we made this kind of like DLC micro game with Johnson, who just fucking around hell, collecting shit and whatnot? Maybe. We need to know more. We need to know more. And frankly, I really hope we do. Again, I really hope this comes out in like, what do you call it? At E3. Because to me, I need to know. I need to know, guys. I love this game. These games. But that would be, again, to me, Pseudo 51 is, and Grasshopper Manufacturer as a whole, they're batshit. They're crazy. They always subvert expectations and all these things. So, potentially, that is the case. I would hope it wouldn't, because it'd just be a lot. Okay? It's a lot even by Pseudo standards to be like, why don't we just forget the second game and just go to the third one? Also, the DLC doesn't really facilitate that. It does seem like the end of the first game, it does seem like the end of the first game ended with Garcia going back into hell for whatever reason. I don't even remember what it was. I think he was trying to, I knew it had something to do with getting Paul. I just don't remember if the devil survives or something. Anyways, maybe we just go right back and we're flying towards Paula to like get her, but then we're trapped on the highway and we have to fight them? Maybe. So maybe it just takes place like right after that. That would kind of make sense. That'd be actually really cool if it took place like right as the ending of Shadows of the Dam happened, and then we just jump forward. I don't know, man. That's all I have written down, just to give myself some notes. But cheers. Hiya guys, I'm gonna butt in for one quick sec. I think that I misunderstood what that comment said. Basically, I don't think it goes, what is it, 1, 3, 2? I think it's going 1 or 2, 1, 3. So it's doing a pre-sequel kind of thing. So yeah, to me, when we look at the trailer, he's in Earth, whatever. He's not in the underworld. So I think this is a prequel. Also, Johnson doesn't have any of his things. So maybe this is the tale of how Johnson and Garcia maybe became better friends or closer or something. I don't know. Which that also makes me kind of worried that it's not a gun version. Like with Johnson being chained, basically, like cuffed. Maybe the game has nothing to do with like combat things, and maybe it's more like puzzly, and maybe that's facilitated toward the Nintendo Switch. And maybe I hate all of that, but that doesn't necessarily write off number 3 being the same thing as the first Shadows of the Damned. But maybe the prequel will mean that it's changing the gameplay as well. I don't know, but it leads everything that we're seeing, to me, at least now, it feels like I'm leaning more towards that this game is a prequel to the first Shadows of the Damned, because Johnson doesn't have any diamonds in his face and the whole 9 yards. Also, we're not in hell. Now, potentially, we could be trying to get to hell, because that was one of the things in Shadows of the Damned 1. When it ended, you jumped back into hell, but I don't think we ever seen Garcia get there, like go into the portal. So maybe close. Who knows? But yeah, I think this is a prequel. That makes more sense to me, but I hope it is also like Shadows of the Damned 2. Anyways, gameplay things. Yeah. First of all, again, all this could be, no, I'm sorry, dude. Nah. I was about to concede a little bit of concede victory, but I'm very doubtful that this is not a sequel to Shadows of the Damned. Again, it just seems weird. This seems like a very, very subtle tease to Shadows of the Damned 2. Not even subtle, it's pretty fucking in your face. It's a pretty big in your face kind of thing. The only thing is this the thing that people have wanted? Where, like, you know, you're playing Johnson. Is this gonna be a third person shooter? Like, I still hope it is. Like, that's my also fears. I don't want that Shadows of the Damned 2 to not be a third person game like Shadows of the Damned 1 was, you know? I really hope that's the case. I really hope it sticks with the cool kind of format, because, man, I don't really want to, like, the whole Trev Strikes Again, like, I get it, but I don't want that at all in the Shadows of the Damned, because I thought Shadows of the Damned gameplay was simple but entertaining, you know? If they could just do that on a grander scale, that'd be pretty wicked. Also, man, there's so many good things about Shaz the Damned. The boss fights were wicked. The weapons were badass. Again, the characters were fun. It was like, to me, Shadows of the Damned was the perfect rendition of like a simple but is still greatly effective game. Anyways, I'm gonna stop gushing about the base game. Some of you guys might be saying, well, Grin, you know, you talked about your worries for the game, general things, basically speculation about when it'll come out or when we'll hear anything about it, which to me would make sense that it's at E3. I also heard some rumors that goddamn Fable 2 is going to be at E3, which is just everything's coming up Grin. Fable 2 and Shadows of the Damned are literally my favorite games of all time, okay? Some people are like, Zelda? Listen, I'm a weird bitch. Anyways, sorry, the question which I was going to ask myself was, what would we want from a Shadows of the Damned 2? You know, I made a video way back in the day about another game I love to pieces, which is The Darkness. The Darkness 3, and I made a whole thing about it because I thought a lot about it, about like how they would do a sequel and how it could work, and my imagination went ham, and I made the whole video about that. But I really don't know. Like the game, that game is so bonkers that I don't know. I'm trying to think of like how it would work. Honestly, when it comes to Shadows of the Damned, I'm less too interested in the story. Like, I love the story, but I trust them to do whatever they're gonna do with it. Again, I hope that we eventually get back to Garcia, even if it's like halfway through the game, you eventually get back into Garcia and you can start playing with him, or something like that. Maybe we are just playing with Johnson, which it'll be a little bit awkward at first, but hopefully the writing will save it and it'll like pull it home. So yeah, story, I don't know. I trust them more or less with what will happen. The thing that I'm not so sure about is the gameplay mechanics that I would want to see, because this game is hopefully coming out soon, you know, 2020 something. So to me, the gameplay things are what I would always have wanted. So my wish list for the longest time for Shadows of the Damned, in terms of gameplay, have always been, I think Shadows of the Damned, like I said, would have made an amazing open world game. Like, there's a lot of games that kind of like, hey, we're open worlds. Yay, here's a bunch of random trash all over the map for you to look at and grab. And by the way, they give you nothing but lore, but mostly nothing, you know? And I'm just like, why? This is awful. This sounds terrible. But to me, Shadows of the Damned, even in its really like dense or like small to a degree levels, they still packed a lot of stuff in there, like ways that you could get rubies and the ways you could level up your guns. A lot of it was kind of, you know, nothing too complicated, like you could just buff your damage, buff your reload, but still enough. But also the worlds and like you going through environment to environment, everything felt hellish, you know. And I just feel like if you were to explode that upwards, and it would be about, I don't know, maybe like, I think the end of the game, the devil survived and he took Paula again, which is kind of weird. But a sequel would validate, okay, well, Garcia, the only way for you to truly get back Paula is for you to defeat the devil. And maybe at the end there could be like this cool thing where it's like, oh, motherfucker, you defeated the devil, but you are the devil now, but you got Paula. So you and Paula and Johnson rule in the underworld. I don't know. But anyways, backtracking. You could be like, the only way to kill the devil and to get Paula back is to conquer hell. So there are all these deities. Maybe it's a 7 deadly sins that's been done to hell and back. Maybe they could have some fun with it and call it something different. But you have to go fight. You have to go to each district, fight through some enemies, maybe claim some places, see some vendors, you know, just the sites, and then kill this big bad, and that's one checked off the list, and maybe get a new weapon for that. Who knows? But that to me would be very cool. And again, I hope they would go beyond just that, you know? I think that'd be really cool if instead of them just being like, hey, so there's this area and there's this big bad sin, you gotta go kill that sin and you'll get a power. Instead, if they were like, okay, no, you're trying to conquer hell, like you're trying to gain notoriety, and Johnson's basically acting as a catalyst for your domination. What is it? Rule, effect, what is it? I can't think of the word.
Dominion.
Notoriety, maybe. Anyways, he's being your anchor to, like, I don't know, maybe there's like a bunch of these demon pyres where they worship the devil or whatever, and you gotta go, and instead of basically like Shadow of Mordor was kind of on the right track, except the story in that game is so shit, and just like, oh, all. And yeah, but a similar beat to that I think would really work, except instead of like in Mordor, instead of it being in hell, and then you have a bunch of these random characters that are always like, that are shitty, but you could tell them in a funny way. Like Grasshopper Manufacturer I think would do really well with that. Like if you took a character like Blackbeard, and you made him like a fun character, even though he's like a rapist crazy person, you know, or like a fucking brutal person, but you're like, hey, whatever, jokes. And it's like, okay, well, sure, you know. I don't know, all I know is that would be really cool. Also, if they could go beyond just upgrading Johnson, that'd be even cooler. So like if you could, well, again, it looks like in the game we're playing Johnson, although we don't know enough for that to be the case, but maybe. And again, maybe this is just a side scroller, you know, for the Nintendo Switch. That would be heartbreaking, but maybe. I don't know. I don't know if they would do that, because I think Shadows of the Dam sold pretty well. So for them to be like, and just gonna condense it into a little baby Switch game as a one-off, it's like, well, you're kind of taking down a pretty big game for you guys. I think Grasshopper Manufacturer and Shadows of the Dam, that's one of their biggest games. I may be mistaken, but I think that's right. But yeah, what do you call it? I really would like it if like there was more upgradability, and it seems like in Let It Die they've kind of got that. It would be nicer to have like Garcia as like maybe you actually being able to play melee in Shadows of the Dam 2 or whatever it's actually called. Maybe that's a thing, you know? I personally would love that. I think that would be wicked, because they do actually reference that, because they reference a lot of demon hunters, and a bunch of them having a lot of different weapons. Like I think Paula, she has like a sword and shield. That was her thing, so she's like melee based, and I was like, oh, okay, that could be real sick. Jesus Christ, that could be really sick. And yeah, I don't know, I don't have much else besides just I think it'd be really cool if that was how you went about the gameplay, is like, you know, going to all of these, you know, four corners of hell or something like that, and you know, killing these bosses, reclaiming the area, also while making yourself stronger and more monstrous, and all the while not noticing that you're literally becoming like a demon. And then you finally get to the end of the road and you're like, oh shit, I'm basically a demon hunter that turned demon ruler, which would be fucking wicked as an ending, I think. And then you and Paul both live in the underworld, be fucking rad. What? I don't know. That's my dumbass idea. But hey guys, I forgot one thing about the gameplay that I would love if it did or took inspiration from. We're enough speculating about like the story and whatnot to completely detach from that. I think it would be awesome if Johnson worked like how Atreus works in God of War, the newest God of War. I think that is such an amazing way of doing companions, but more or less just additive damage. I think it would add such a cool combat string. Also, one of the things I didn't mention, to just harken back to the story for a quick sec, Johnson is chained, so, which is a whole part of his lore. I kind of breezed by, but basically he was like imprisoned by the devil or something for doing something bad. I don't know exactly what it was, but he's chained, like he's cuffed. So it makes me wonder, what is this gonna be, even a shooter? Oh god, I hope it is at least gonna be that. But yeah, again, maybe that gives more weight to it just being a Nintendo side scroller kind of thing. I hope not. So much I hope not anyways. I don't know, guys. I just wanted to make this video because I can't tell you guys how absolutely in love with that game I am. Shadows of the Damned, again, I think it's just so good. If you guys have not played it, I think you can get it through Microsoft Store on the PC, and I think you can play it backwards compatibility with your Xbox One if you have it. Again, I really would hope that there's no exclusivity with Shadows of the Damned, and again, this would break my heart if this game was just like a side scroller with Johnson. Yeah. That would, because in Shadows of the Damned there were these really awesome little mini game levels where you're basically, it's like classic Mario kind of shit, where you're just going through like a little kind of neon super artsy level, which was awesome. But if that was the game, I would be so sad. I'd be so unbelievably sad. And yeah, I got nothing else, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that. That was us rambling for 30 minutes. Hopefully I was able to cut that down a tad. But yes, Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not absolutely excited and thrilled, then well, I guess I'm alone. Thank you. Jeez. Anyways, yeah, I'm hoping to see it at E3. That's the only thing I have. I think, again, with how Grasshopper Manufacturer has been pulling off Let It Die, it would make sense that all their efforts been going towards that to either get it stable enough to where they can have a general idea of what it is, so that they can maybe show it at E3, or maybe this is one of those things where it was such like a tease for like 2 years too soon, you know? I would hate that. I would hate when developers tease something way too soon. Like, oh, you're not going to see this for another 3 years. And it's like, what? What's your problem? Just don't show it then, you ass. Anyways, I'm really hoping to see it at this year's E3, and apparently we may even see Fable. That's a video and a half as well about what I would love to see from that game. But, ladies and gentlemen, this was Shadows of the Dam 2 ? Or whatever I choose to name this. Let me know if you're as excited. Maybe I'm alone in just loving that game because of its incredible style and weird buddy cop nature. But hey, go play it. You're wrong. You're wrong. Go play it. Thank you so much for your time. Subscribe button above me. 2 videos to my right. And goodbye.